You've been in the Andy Reid training camp. You've been in a few different training camps. A very unique one in Chip Kelly when Andy Reid left. What do you think the biggest difference from an Andy Reid training camp, if you can remember, to the others?
Andy's, first of all, they're long days.
Yeah, no, Coach Reid is getting every bit of that freaking that union timesheet.
So typically, and I don't know if this is the way Andy still does it, but you don't start with meetings. You start practice.
Football.
Right?
Yeah.
So the install happens the night before. The morning of, at 8 a.m., you are on, or is it 8 or 9, you're on the field.
Now it's 9. It used to be 8 o'clock.
Okay,
it used to be
so
8 o'clock.
Yeah. So you're on the field practicing. And the other thing that stands out about Andy is they're long practices. I don't know if he's adjusted now because I think
2.5 hours. I forget what the max is, but we're maxing that shit out.
I'm not messing with you. We would have some when he was in Philly that were like 3 hours.
Yeah, and I believe that. It's unioned up now. You already know the NFLPA came in and was like, "Yo, we gotta look out for these guys."
I'm not kidding you. I don't know that we have any practices over 2 hours with Nick. Maybe 2:15 on the long side, but they're almost all 2 hours and you're off the field. And I think that doesn't sound.
It sounds like you're not putting in enough work, but at the same time, if you're working your ass off, you know what I mean, for those 2 hours, you're still getting plays in and everything. Yeah,
you get a lot accomplished in those 2 hours still. Honestly, what it makes a difference of is just not being on your feet for an extra hour on the field. I think, even though you don't think you're doing it, when you're just standing there watching like a special teams drill, or you're standing around watching the threes go, even though you're not doing anything, you're still on your feet and walking around, and I think that adds up, actually.
But you don't have to backtrack on any of that shit. Anybody got a fucking question? You guys went to the Super Bowl last year. Get the fuck out of here. You guys are the number one seed in the NFC.
Listen, I'm a big fan.
You don't have to backtrack on any of this.
Well, I'm not trying to backtrack. I'm just saying why Andy's, I think, were harder. Even though we honestly, I don't know that we did that much more with Andy's with the 3 hours. We were just out there for so long. So just being out there is a grueling thing in the heat with pads on and the helmet, standing around, watching all your buddies go. And then on top of that, Andy has, in my opinion, the worst drill that I've done in training camp, which is long drive drill. Oh my gosh, dude. I don't ever want to do long drive drill ever again.
We did long drive in OTAs.
Yeah, but you don't have pads on, right? Did you have pads on?
No.
Yeah, it's different with the heat, pads, helmet, all that on. It is not fun.
For those of you that don't know what long drive drill would be, it's a scripted set of plays or an unscripted set of plays that the coaches will have for you, that the ones will go up against the ones for about anywhere from 14 to 18 plays.
I always remembered it's 15 to 18, depending on the day. But yeah.
The day, right? So you'll start on one side of the field and you'll literally it'll be set, the ball will be set, and it'll be scripted to be set at a certain, no matter how many yards you gain on a play. You could score a touchdown as a wide receiver on an 80-yard touchdown, and you're going to have to come back and run another play with 70 yards left. You
keep going every 5 yards down the field.
Yeah.
15 plays, right?
It'll start on the 20 and it'll end on the red zone.
And there's no subs. No. So that's where, for the O-line, the first 5 plays are pretty hard. But then after that, the D-line, they're not subbing. It's just a big lean fest.
It is just lean. Lean on that man and keep them hands tight.
My first training camp, we did one. It was a 15-play drive in Lehigh. It's humid as hell. In the morning because all the dew's on the ground. It's hot.
You find out a lot about yourself in the long drive drill.
We called a screen on the 12th play.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, get out there, bud.
I ran out there. And with the block.
Didn't touch a single person.
Lying on the ground. And Andy had to call a timeout. He said timeout. Hey, all right, you all right, young fella? And I'm just, I don't know that he's ever done that before, but he had to officially call a timeout in the long drive drill.
That's too fucking funny. Get your fat ass up, Jason. God damn it. I'll get the Andy Reid stare if I have a mental like lapse, because that's what it is. It's making you think while you're exhausted, while you think you can't move. It's making you think about a play, think about what the other defenses do, what the other side of the ball is doing. Snap count's a huge thing.
Gotta remember that.
You already know. You gotta remember what the count is, baby. Not only that, but it's just making you think of the play that they just installed for the first time in the set in like the 8th install of the training camp, and you're thinking you got like 200 plays already in your mind, and you got to think of this one-off play when you're dog shit tired in the middle of 110 degrees, and it makes you focus. And you find, that's what I'm saying, you find a lot about it yourself on how to manage a situation of like that, and it prepares you for the game if you ever get caught in a situation where you're not mentally weak, because the mind's always got to match what you're doing, man.
We had the Navy SEALs come in one year with Chip, and they talked about operating in that state is like a big part of like their philosophy, is like knowing how to operate in adverse conditions when you're tired, or you've been walking or hiking up mountains for miles, and now all of a sudden you got to refocus in and freaking be on the dot, or your life's on the line, right? Like that's the ultimate stakes. And they use a term, or I think it was the Navy SEALs, it was somebody in the military, but they used the term when you're in that state, you're in what they call code black. So now that's like our state. Like whenever somebody's so tired and they just do like this block where they just do like the turnstile, like, oh man, Big V's in code black, man. Watch Big V. He just jumped off sides. He gave up a sack, and he just went the wrong way. He's in code black, brother.
He comes to the sideline. He's just shaking his head. He's like, "Yeah, man, you just went through the ringer, didn't you? Do you even know what just happened? You remember all those?"
But man, that is so real. Operating when everything feels good is the easy part.
Yeah, anybody.
Being able to do it while you're fatigued is so important. And I honestly, I think long drive drill is a great drill. I really do.
I need that shit. That's why I like training camp.
You need at least 1 or 2 of those in training camp. And if you're lucky, you get one, honestly, in one of the preseason games. You get like a long drive. Hopefully you score on it and then you're done. But you get that feel for it, because it's a completely different feel.
Yeah, it's different. Red zone too, man. You get into that red zone towards the end of that long drive drill. It's already, everything's condensed. Everything happens quicker, and you're dog shit tired trying to fucking get the mind to match the feet. And yeah,
Pat's like, man, hey, why didn't you get out of your break right there, Trav?
Yeah. Why don't you look at the 10 plays before it and see where you're running? Coach, yeah, and Coach Reid will strategically. I don't even know if I want to say this. He'll strategically like challenge guys every long drive drill. Like he'll make sure that he calls like a wide. He'll call like a wide deep cross, and then he'll call like the fake deep cross Seattle, or he'll call, you know what I mean? He'll call plays like down the field for certain guys where they have to run and they have to be accountable in situations. And that's, I mean, it's strategic is what I'm saying. And sure. If you don't answer the bell, you're going to hear from him. And that's how Coach Reid keeps the team accountable. He keeps everybody fighting, even when, they it's not convenient for them, if that makes sense.
For sure.
Even Patty Mahomes said it, baby. He said, if you can get through Andy Reid's training camp, then you're going to be able to get through the NFL season.
There's a reason why he's been so successful with it.
The guru.